What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have some special spoilers thanks to the folks over at Fantasy Flight Games. These are from the upcoming Game of Thrones card game chapter pack, Favor of the Old Gods. I got a couple Lannister cards here we're going to go over. If you guys have any comments, suggestions, or any ways you would use these cards in decks or something that I don't mention, feel free to leave it in the comments below so other people can start a discussion and we can really figure these cards out. But I'm going to go into it right now and give you my impressions on these things real quick. The first card up here we have is Sweet Cersei. It's a 1-cost location for the Lannister. It's unique, has the warship trait. During the challenges phase, you may spend gold on Sweet Cersei as if it were in your gold pool. Also has a reaction: after you win an intrigue challenge, move 1 gold from the treasury to Sweet Cersei. So my first impressions are another economy card, which is always good for the game. I like when they start mixing in different economy cards. So in decks, you'll see different types of economy rather than just the regular, you know, Rose Road, Great Halls, that kind of thing. I like seeing other factions bring economy to the table. Also could stem to other deck building, other decks, sorry, that you could build. So the econ in the challenges, though, is interesting. So it could help fuel some ambush, some big expensive events, and that kind of thing. It could be used similar to how we've seen the Iron Bank will have its due used, where you can just kind of make gold happen in the challenges phase, kind of like Tyrion Lannister. Lannister would love that. They can put some use to that for sure. An interesting, I don't know how competitive it is, but you could play this with Supporting the Faith, another way to get gold going in the challenges phase, and kind of have it safe since it's sitting on location. You know, it won't get hit by Supporting the Faith when you enter the challenges phase and you kind of lose all your gold. So you can kind of screw your opponent over and then still have some gold on this location. Funny thing, it's safe from loot. Your gold in the challenges phase sitting on this if you want to keep it there. You can spend it off there, right? And they can't use loot to pay for it. Definitely just funny, but it also works with some non-loyal cards that work off the worship trait, like Drowned Men, Lyseni Priorate, Raiding the Bay of Ice, and Salador Sand. So if you ever want to mix those into a Lannister deck, they have another worship to play with, since they all have some ability that goes off the worship trait. Some negatives. Being non-limited means it's weak to Greyjoy location control, so it's very easy, since this is 1 cost and non-limited, to get blown up, stolen, that kind of thing, knelt, whatever. It can be easily controlled, is what I'm trying to get at, and if, you know, it got piled up with gold and then, you know, stolen on a turn with a sea bitch, that's not fun. So that's the weakness to it. It keeps it under control. Probably I'd run this as a one-of. It's unique, and you know, it's a buck, whatever. I don't know about duping it. Maybe if it's that key to your strategy, maybe you play more than one. But it's during challenges phase gold, so I mean, it could go in a deck that relies more on gold during the challenges phase, and maybe they run more than one, so they see it all the time. And I like the way it's going along with the intrigue theme of Lannister, trying to push that theme, kind of like Small Council Chamber, Casterly Rock, those kind of locations to help benefit off of the intrigue challenge, to generate some economy, so you can generate some power, you know, you're hitting your opponent's hand, that kind of thing. Just another way to make intrigues great out of Lannister. There's nothing more to say really there. And like I said, if you have any comments on this card, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. So let's go on to our next card. It is a 6-cost character, Sir Balon Swan. He has a military and a power icon, 4 strength. He's unique. He is non-loyal, has the Kingsguard and Knight trait. He has the keyword Renown. He has a reaction: after a non-Lannister Knight character enters play under your control, gain 2 gold. Limit once per phase. So this is interesting. Just looking at him, base cost, stats, icons, that kind of thing, he's okay. But having a Renown on a 6 cost is good. Having another Renown body, and a Renown body in a Knight's deck would be interesting. He is non-loyal, and since he works with non-Lannister Knights, he's basically just saying, throw me in a banner package and put me in a house that has more Knights, better Knights, that kind of thing. Kind of sucks he doesn't work with the Lannister Knights when they come into play. But he does have some interaction with Lannister Knights. So if I were to throw him into a deck, I would start thinking Tyrell, maybe Stark. Even Martell has quite a few Ballin Knights that they've gotten lately. I think they're up to like 7 decent Knights. If you go check that out on Thrones ZB, you'll see, search Knight trait, and you'll see Martell's not doing too shabby there with the Knights. They could use this to generate some economy and help pay for the Martell, you know, more expensive events, that kind of thing, or just get gold in general, because it's, you put them into play when they enter play under your control. I'm assuming that's after you marshal them. You'd get that 2 gold, so I think you'd be all right. What else? He works with Sir Osmond Kettleblack. You gain gold after knights come into play. So Sir Osmond Kettleblack has that bestow ability where he can spend a gold to bring a knight in from hand. So I mean, it could work with him. Like I said, econ for knights deck. He's for snowproof. Kingsguard Jamie gives him an intrigue icon, but that whole thing from Kingsguard Jamie where, you know, a knight attacks alone gets renowned doesn't really apply to this guy. So he's benefiting off one of the abilities, but not the other. But you'd assume the Kingsguards would all go together if they're designed right. Maybe we'll see a Kingsguard agenda down the road, and this guy will work in there. He could work with a Sparring in Secret card we saw recently for Lannister come out in the last pack, where that one has the 1-cost event, kneel a knight character to choose and stand another knight character. So if you're doing that knight-themed deck, you know, on a Tyrell or Stark or something, you have those weenie knights, even Hedge Knight neutral, you have a way to, like, kneel a knight, stand this guy back up, and try to get another renown on him, so it can be a little rushy maybe. The problem though with renown on these knight guys that aren't lords and ladies is not being able to have access to bodyguard to throw on them to keep that renown around. But I mean, hey, more renown is always great to help keep the game at a good pace. So he's not a bad body for that. And if we get some way to reduce the cost of knights, I'm not aware that if we have that, but if we did, it could just make this guy even better. But then again, the cost of 6, so something I didn't even realize right off the bat is he's 6 for 4. But then again, when you just play one other knight, he's gaining 2 gold. So he's really like a 4 for 4 because he's generating gold off you. But then you can, you know, you have the argument of you're using an ability to do that, and you could have another cool ability and be 4 for 4. But he can start paying himself off. You can keep him around for a couple turns, and he starts generating 2 gold for you. I mean, that's a decent econ engine for a deck, which can definitely help out with kind of like a knight's, you know, a pressure kind of spammy rush kind of thing where you're just like flooding little knights coming at you. Kind of a swarm, I guess is the term I'm looking for. Similar to how Dothraki used to work in 1st edition. Maybe he should be working in 2nd. I don't know. They haven't got there yet. But he's also another Kingsguard for the Kingslayer attachment. Oh, man. I don't think anyone's going to play that card. But some people will try it, I'm sure. Some people will try it with this guy. But yeah, that's my thoughts of Sir Balin Swan. So if you have any thoughts on it, what kind of decks would you play it in? I want to hear it. I want to hear your thoughts on these cards. And let me know in the comments below. Let other viewers of this video know in the comments below. If you like these cards or like this video in general, slap that like button if you're new here. Hit the subscribe button. We'll definitely have some more Game of Thrones spoilers coming up in the future. We've had some in the past for sure. So we have lots of Game of Thrones card game coverage on the channel. So stick around for that and other board game playthroughs. So you're in the right place. Subscribe to Rob's Gaming Table. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.